What's going on? What's good? Our good people, our wonderful audience. Welcome to the podcast, the Correctly Mistaken podcast. Alongside, as always, my guy, my brother, my Brody, that man Punch.
What's good, brother?
I'm your boy Osei. What a week. And we're going to get right on into it. We are live from a land where we got this.
This is central to whether or not we maintain a multiracial democracy in this country and a real way for Black people, for Latinos, for Native Americans and Asian Americans to have a real opportunity to say who leads us. It is that simple. What Justice Alito and this really radicalized right-wing majority did was say, because we think that we shouldn't be able to say anything about partisan politics. We're not just going to create a loophole. We're going to create the sunken place where essentially any politicians who are controlling the politics of a state can just say, we're not discriminating. We just want to win. And we will win if Black people can't have a district where they have the ability to say who leads them. Because rather than competing for our votes, rather than trying to find the kinds of coalitions of the willing to create and create solutions to problems we all share, they'd rather just figure out a way to stay in power.
That's the voice of Maya Wiley, civil rights activist, lawyer. She actually ran for mayor in New York. Black woman, brilliant Black woman. And if you guys have been living under a rock, where I think it's hard to do nowadays, man, with so much shit going on. I mean, if you're just walking around like I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Well, I don't never know the weather half the time, but that's just the weather. Cause I don't never check the damn app. But if you don't know what's going on, man, I mean, was it Punch Thursday? Was it Wednesday or Thursday? What one of the days? But the Supreme Court came down, and basically what they said is like Justice Kavanaugh, who said that it's perfectly okay to use race to profile brown people and check their accents in order to see if they're undocumented. But then they said in that same breath, you can't district maps and redraw maps or legislative maps or state maps or congressional maps by race. Make it make sense. So one thing you can do it's fine. If you see an accent, they sound a certain way, by all means, the Supreme Court said by all means, you can stop them and use race as a precursor, an accent as a but you can't make it maps by race. You can't discriminate just by race. And it's so funny, Punch. Anything that's predominantly white, it just is what it is. But anything that's a Black district or for Black people, whatever, y'all trying to do stuff by race. That isn't right. That's discrimination. And once again, as y'all see, they always fucking with us. And a state that's 40% Black, like Louisiana is, almost, I think, what is 40 or 33%? Almost 40.
I think 33%, y'all.
3%, I'm sorry. 33%. They ain't going to have any representation. Now, you would think if you have 33% of the representation or is Black, you should at least have, a third of the seats?
Mm-hmm.
But this is going to take this out. And because, like Maya Wiley said, the Supreme Court said, well, no, it's not discrimination. We just want to win. Punch, man, this is crazy, man. This Supreme Court, this rogue activist Supreme Court, man. Like, we need to pack If we ever could, that joint need to be packed to the gills. But that's my opinion. We got to pack it to the gills because this is ridiculous, man. I mean, what they're doing, it's they're legitimately they're hacks. Alito is a hack. Like Roberts, Clarence Thomas, Amy Coney Barry she was doing some little stuff a little bit, trying to, not going all the way with some other rulings, but then they go right back to what they are once again, trying to take away our political power and our voice. Now, obviously, it doesn't mean it's over. We continue to fight. We got to vote. We got to come out. We can't even though they fucking with us, man. People fuck with you, man. You can't let them. You can't let them have the final all say all. We got to go out. We got to vote. Hell, we vote in droves. What they call punch? What, too big to fail? It's so many people.
Yep.
So we still got to vote. This does not mean that we do not vote. But did it make it tougher? Yeah. What say you, Punch?
I mean, I don't see why only the bad guys gotta win. If they could draw maps based on partisanship, then we could draw maps based on partisanship.
And straight up, I'm talking about like what? Nothing.
Yeah, like we should. You know what I'm saying? The thing about the South is that
where majority of the black population relies in the South.
Yeah,
mind you,
the black people are disenchanted with the voting process anyway.
Yeah,
right. Our politicians are notoriously corrupt.
Yes,
and they do some things in more of the interest of black people, but are they really there in the interest? Like, we talk about the Democratic Party all the time.
We do.
Right? Like and it's like, if you can't beat the racists by this point, okay. Right? If there's so many black people that vote, if most black people are engaged in the voting process, then the only way to beat us, and black and Latino, because it disenfranchises all minority votes, right? And again, minorities don't need to see themselves as adjacent to the black experience here. But if they're more engaged to vote, and honestly, you would get more people engaged to vote if you did what the voters asked you to do when you got to office.
Correct.
Right? Like, because you don't, the voters aren't engaged, and you have to play you got to play it on the margins, right? So my thing is like, I understand racism exists, but they lose because the Democrats don't give a fuck about racism.
That is
like, let's be real. Like, they not in there trying to really defeat racism.
Yeah.
Like, most politicians get in there and they try to get theirs. And like, that's all it really is.
And that's why a lot of, when right say, black people, Democrats don't care about black people. Once again, it's almost like you said, Punch, is the reason why when they say, well, why you need a black district anyway? It's not like Democrats care. And it's like, yeah, they got a point.
Yeah, right. It's like, you got a point. You ain't said nothing wrong. They just not as bad to me. No. That's like, but if that's what we're judging it on, that's why I'm like, I weigh in between. Obviously, white people have their history.
Yes.
Right? And I guess depending on where you grow up, how you grow up, who you grow up with, you are probably a little more connected to that history. And you probably have like a feeling in general about white people. They're colonizers, they're this, they're that, right? And that's cool, like, it's justified. But then if we go look at the black politicians,
doing much of shit.
They ain't treated us much better, and it's not because they didn't have the ability to. Right? It's not because they didn't have the ability to. It's because They're more interested, or when you get in the system, as the guy said last week, you become part of the system.
I said last week, you get swallowed whole.
Yeah, so it's like,
Within like 2 years, you get in there, you run for office, get in the establishment just swallows you.
yeah, you just become a part of a cog in the machine. And it's like, I wish like the South, like I wish they had a real avenue to get representation that'll do stuff and write laws, and it's probably hard. Like, I get it, it's hard,
Yeah.
but it's not like it's not over. You know what I'm saying? But the Democratic Party would enchant more people if they did what we asked them to.
Dude.
Right? Like, they get to office and then be like, "Yo,
That we do.
I don't know what you're talking about."
No, there's nothing that we can do.
Yeah, it's like it's the system, man. Like, I got here, you put me here because I told you I changed the system, but yeah, man, I really don't know what it is now. Like, they like, oh, yeah, I said, free childcare, but when I looked at the budget, it's impossible.
Yeah, we talked about expanding healthcare, but
Yeah, do you know how much it's gonna cost?
I
And then they go vote on a bond bill or a defense bill.
legitimately just go
Right? Like, they'll go vote on oil subsidies. They'll go vote on farm subsidies that don't go to black people. And we're supposed to be like, oh yeah.
because that is the black voting block is the biggest voting block of the Democrat Party,
And, and the most sure one.
and the more sure one, and it's the one that they constantly take for granted. I mean, they have. I mean, that's why when you hear them, when they was, after the ruling came down, and you saw it on threads and social media and all kinds of the right wing influencers talking about this is about the Democrats just had they were just cheating anyways, and a lot of times they don't give a damn about black people. They just use them as a token. And I'm sitting there like, and, you go through, you're trying to scroll. Like, who can I argue with? Especially when I was pissed. I said, man, I had time. Sometimes you just scrolling. Like, I got time today.
Yeah.
Who over here about to?
I experience that pretty often, man.
Who over here pissing me off, man?
Who's saying some dumb shit right now?
Dumb shit I can go at. And every time I heard him, I'm like, well, damn. I mean, they do got a point. Democrats do take. They do take.
They don't give a fuck about us, right? If they did what we asked them to do.
Jeffrey Sneed or Jeffrey Mead, that I can't stand his bitch ass.
I don't even know how you do that to yourself, man. You're a glutton for punishment, dog.
Videos of how he just sits there like stares and like at this video. I can't. I just want to punch him in his face. And that's
you're supposed to.
I just want to. Like, he has a punch.
You're supposed to want to. That's his whole thing.
His face is just punchable. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
He has a very someone you'd slap.
You probably right. Just slap the shit out of him. And he,
just slap the shit out of him, man. I don't even want to box with that. Just pow.
And I just heard, and he even said it, and I was just like, well, damn, he right. But see, the fact of the matter, even what you said on a post that somebody posted on my Facebook, and you were like, yeah, after all of that, Republicans ain't done shit either. Because see, that's the problem.
They've done less. Like, that be
thank you.
They've done less. It's like, you could give me all the shit you want about the Democratic Party. I'll talk shit with you. But they create more jobs. They create more benefits. They run cheaper government, even though it's large. Like, I can understand the argument for large government. They run a cheaper government, right? Prices are almost always low. They never take us to war. The Republicans have taken us, the last 4 Republican presidents have taken us to war, dog.
And then on top of that, what they do then they go all over national TV and they just lie about it.
Yeah. So it's like, even if the Democratic Party is the party of the KKK, is the party of the slave master, is the party of segregation, and then, like, obviously, no matter what people say,
but the parties fit. They were the Dixie Democrats. They never forget. They never forget. They always forget to talk about that. And they 65 civil rights voting rights.
Even if the party, like, even if people want to say, like, oh, the politicians never really switched or whatever, the constituents switched.
Yes, definitely.
Right? Like, our representative, that's why there's only, 5 5 Republican congressmen.
I think what's this 13% of Congress is color of color. I think it's like what? How many? Five?
Well, that's probably all on the Democratic side.
You know, you got like Wesley Hunt, you got Byron Donalds.
No, no, I'm talking about like most of it. Like 13% of 500 people is more than the 5 black people in Congress.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm saying? So most of that is people of color. Wherever that is, it's the Democrats, right? So it's just like the constituents have changed. Our representatives have changed. Their voting bloc has changed. And we didn't vote for a more racist voting bloc. The Republicans have.
There are 67 black members in U.S. Congress, about 12 to 13%. So about 67 of them out of what? 400 and what?
Yeah, how many of them are Republican?
Good question. Down party. You have 62 of them are Democrats and 5 are Republicans.
What did I say? I said 5. Right? Like that's so obviously the people went where they felt like they was wanted the most, even though both parties don't give a fuck about us.
They don't.
Right? Like schools are better in Democrat districts, jobs are better in Democrat districts. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of problem with Democrat districts.
None of them.
A ton of problems.
Sometimes expensive.
Sometimes they're violent, right? Like, but overall, for life for people of color is better with the Democrats. So it doesn't matter what the Democrats have failed to do. And all the things they failed to do, they've done more than the Republicans.
Every single time. That drives. Like, what have the Republicans done for you? Like, what have they done for you? You know,
and it's like
nothing. I mean, yeah, Democrats are terrible. Like, we can talk about that all day, but Republicans, see what they do. Democrats do nothing. Republicans, they unleash cruelty. Democrats just maintain status quo.
And I won't even say the Democrats do nothing. They just move really slow at it. You know what I'm saying? Highest black unemployment rate was under Biden. That's not doing nothing. The federal government hiring all those black women, that's not doing nothing. People our Democrat districts hiring black judges, Hispanic judges, like that's not doing nothing. It just doesn't feel.
Well, yeah, we're talking about policy because the issue is just policy.
Yeah,
they do like. They put them in positions of power, when you got a Democrat and them, Ketanji Brown Jackson, and you had what was it, Lloyd Austin as Secretary of State, and
yeah, that's creating pathways, and I know it's not like everything we want,
but that don't matter. They're already usually people who are high income, already making money, and any of the policies that are supposed to help working class people, they don't need no way.
But when 300,000 black women lose jobs because of Republicans, how much wealth does that take out of our community?
None of it.
A ton of it, right? When the black unemployment rate is 8.8%,
up now even higher with Trump.
Yeah, no, but before it was like 4% in Biden's years.
Yeah.
Now it's like 8%.
Yeah.
Right? That takes a lot of wealth out of our community.
Ton of it.
Right? Like
the policies, what you say, that's the racism when we talk about racism, because usually these policies, because they understand disproportionately, these policies affect people of color and marginalized communities.
Yeah. And the South, the black people and the people of color in the South can stand up and fight it. I mean, or they could just try to monopolize on whatever, like, not financial, but like, government help is lower in red states. But the opportunity for prosperity, the bar is lower to get in. The entrance is lower. Right? Lower taxes. It's probably cheaper in that area. So if you're enterprising, you could probably find
you know what I'm saying? Like my brother did something like that. He was working up north, had his money, then north money, then took it down south. And when you go there, like you said, a lot of stuff is cheaper, but the cost of living and the jobs, like there was a job the other day A lot of work to be done in that job, man. A lot of work to be done. And it was like, I think it was in Texas, and it was like 55. And up here, that same job was 85.
Yikes.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like 55. And like you said, it is it is easier down there because it's easier. Cause I never when we lived in Tennessee, everything was just easier. It's easier to get a house, and like you didn't have to
Yeah, it's just easier.
you'd have to check your credit. It was only like, some references and a deposit because most people down there credit's fucked up. So if you're in the town or in the area where most people don't live on credit, you can't have a place for rent and say, "Hey, I'm looking at your credit," because you're not gonna ever occupy the home.
Nope.
I mean, you so you have to do things differently. That's why down in the South, bro, every other place you got a payday loan spot. I never forget, man. I lived in Tennessee, red state, deep red state. Lived in Tennessee twice, and I remember going before I got a bank account. I was working. I
Oh
would
yeah.
go and get to the check cash to check cash my check, and they did that, and they did payday loans. And I remember people would go in there, who got their payday loans from last time, had to pay that one off with the money they
With
didn't
the,
get, and they
with
get
they chat.
it was a rotating circle, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and it was just like, and down there, but then in order to get a payday loan, like you said, the regulation stuff is a lot less lower. But then but what hurts them is that the predatory interest rates on those loans,
Yeah.
but it's easy to get them. If you need some quick money, it's easy in the South to get it. But like you said, all the other black ink or the underlying black, it crushes you. But stuff is easier to grab hold in the South. But
Yeah.
usually it tends to be something that's gonna in the back end hurt you, just regulation wise. But it is easier. But a lot of times people don't think about the back end. They're like, look, man, I need some money right fucking now. I don't need to wait to the back. I ain't worried about the back
Now
end.
I'll worry about that in 15 days when my first payment come out.
Worried about that shit.
You feel me? But the truth is that like Democrats in the South now they have to figure out a way to get these. They can't blame it on racism, right? Like the ruling was stupid, period, right? Because it's an assumption that racism is gone. It's solved. And we all know that it's not solved.
Unless you're David French of the New York Times. Did you hear that? That's a whole nother.
Dog, I don't. No, I didn't hear. I can't. Like, I kind of took a week off the news this week, man, because you gotta take a break every now and then.
Several economists who believe white people believe, he thought racism was done, but until he realized racism isn't done until he because it's his adopted Ethiopian daughter.
Oh yeah, so I'm on We the Fifth,
I'm
and it's
like,
like he learned that it's still the same, especially for children. So these children don't grow up to be different people. And look, I'm not even gonna blame a white person for not really paying attention. Like if you don't pay attention to it, you just don't pay attention to
and you
it.
don't need to. Okay, it don't affect you.
Right? Like it ain't on you, right? Like you know what I'm saying? Like if you don't watch the news, you don't know all the bad shit that's happening in the world.
No.
Right? So if you ain't paying attention to racism because no one in your circle has to deal with it, then you not know and I can understand that it exists in the manner that it exists in. But like black people have two options. You either have to figure out a way to galvanize y'all vote to get the shit y'all want in the spaces y'all want. And then when you get that power, you do something with that power, right? Because even our black Democrats don't do that.
Nothing.
Or the constituents just have to figure out a way to make money for themselves. There's two things that solve all of this. You either get the votes that you want, or you make enough money to where it doesn't matter what happens around you for real. Right? Like that's like the WEB, the boys.
Hard to do. To make
Yeah.
like when I think when I don't know if you saw with Tim Parrish the other day or Abby. It's like, yeah, but if you don't like the fact that your coffee's $9, how about you just go start your own coffee company?
I mean, but that's a real thing. Like, I know it sounds crazy, right? I know it sounds crazy, but you have two options. It's the Booker T. Washington like way of thought where it's you can either worry about these politics or you can become economically viable in your community, right? You can get educated, you can open a business, you can work hard because that does still exist in America. People get rich here all the time. And it's not for everyone, but you can create something for yourself. You do have that opportunity in a manner that you don't have it in a lot of countries,
But all the
right?
keep squeezing the people that you need to make money off of, eventually that's going to get very difficult. If you
No, but you could also just not be an asshole and be greedy and run your company the way you would want a company ran if you were working for that company.
just pay people a little bit more money,
Yeah,
like
people do it all the time. There's good companies and bad companies. There's a lot of bad companies, but there's good companies and bad companies. There's companies that do profit shares with their employees. Like you make the choice, but I'm like, what I'm saying is that they have to figure that out. Like it. Although racism exists, you can do all the same things they're doing, and there's probably more of y'all than them. Once you like all the people of color like combine, right? And if you win and you get a Republican in there that wants to do something, and it's not like they want to start giving money out like Democrats, but you can run good capitalist states.
I mean, you can if you
You could.
actually have a actual capitalism and an actual free
Yeah,
market.
if you can make your
There's
town
no
a free market, that's possible. But like if you're the problem is that the Republican Party is like worried about abortions and transgendered people.
They're worried about that so they can continue to monitor and control the free market, and they make you worry about abortions, transgender people while they robbing your ass blind.
And the problem is that the black Republicans are like that,
They right with them.
right? Like and it's like
Ain't
the
shit.
yeah, like if the black Republicans was really like free market, low taxes, that would make a lot of people's lives better.
And the thing is,
They're just not actually about it.
it's not about
They're just
like,
not actually
that's
about
the
it.
whole thing. Is like, look, if you just make the market free and make stuff more equitable, you wouldn't have to go around here trying to figure out what they want to call entitlements or people trying to live.
Yeah,
If you just
people would have money.
exactly, but the issue is if I'm a company and I give money to a politician and my company isn't the best, guess what? If long as I done lockstep with that politician and paid enough people off, I could get subsidies that gonna maintain my company every year, just free money coming to me.
Big bank take little bank. That's what it is. But that's why I'm saying it's not like black people are doing like your black representative. Most of them, not most of them, but a good portion of them aren't doing the things they promised us anyway.
Correct.
If they was, more black people in the South would vote. They got 1 million registered black voters in Texas. Last year, like in the Jasmine Crockett,
Yeah. And then
only like 200,000 of them voted.
no, they only had no. They both got over 1 million votes.
No, I'm talking about black folks.
Oh, black folks, yeah, they both
Black folks, they got 1 million registered black people down there,
and only like 200,000
and only 200,000 of them voted.
in that race. Really? I didn't know.
Yeah, it was a low number.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was a low number. It was much less than the million that voted.
Keep
You
going.
know?
Oh, check that. That's interesting.
So it's like, you know why they're not voting?
So
Because their black candidates don't do nothing for them anyway.
we don't do nothing for them.
Yeah, if they did something for them, you'd have more. You'd have more Latino voters, more Native American voters, more poor white voters. You'd probably pull independents, but everybody's too busy about talking about transgender equity and the other one's talking about not having transgender men and women's sports and we're fight like and I get all these things are things to fight about, but you can fight about that when you're in office,
Yeah,
right? Like
because they
that's
don't.
not like you know what I'm saying? Like that could be a thing when you're in office. Like your side thing, we want to make sure abortion is but if you just make sure people have money in their pockets, and none of them do that. They only do this stuff that like
It's the
ain't
culture.
really put ain't putting money in nobody's pockets,
It's the culture war, so they can able to distract and
so
make
they can stay in
they can
office.
stay in power, and then they can feed their special interests in corporations, and they continue to make more.
Yeah, they can still dick you over economically.
Exactly, and they blame everybody else the reason why you being dicked over economically, when most of it is
Yeah,
a fucking policy choice.
we didn't win because we talked about abortion rights too much. We didn't win because we talked about like dog. If you only the Manami thing was that he only talked about economic. Like he touched on everything when it came up, but his message always went back to making sure the making money is equitable in New York.
Well, Kamala Harris in the 2024 election, when she won at one point in time, I think she had a 5.6 point lead in the polls, I believe, when she was, I mean, crushing the corporate gouging.
Yeah,
Corporate gouging. She was crushing it. She was on it.
and then she sat on that stage with Mark Cuban. I said, "Hello, we not. We gonna work something out later with the companies. We gonna figure that out,
Crazy, bro.
right? Like that's what she did."
It's crazy, man. And the very same thing their voters like, and that's the even thing. If and their voters ask for, they do something completely different. Like even if because what happens is if you talk about the price gouging, she was even ultimately I think guys in the situations that really brought it down.
Yeah, Gaza definitely was
Also, a
the
lot of
kill shot.
when she stopped talking about the
When she,
corporate price
when
gouging.
she started running around with the rich businessman. When she started running around with the billionaires,
A
man.
letter from the CEOs. Every CEO
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
give a fuck about the corporations dick us over every day.
And we know it.
We can't stand these corporations. And you're
Yeah,
like,
we know it.
oh, the CEOs have my back. Oh, what does that mean for us?
That means you already bought out.
As CEO pay right now today is at 400 times more than the average worker. 400 times more.
And if they lost what an extra 30-40% of that, would they really even notice?
No.
If you made $35 million in your bonus, but instead of making $35 million in your bonus, you made 19.
And that's why you
You
got the
do
Starbucks CEO talking.
that's your bonus.
You know, hey, the thing is, we're trying to give a premium in everything under $10. Motherfucker, it's a $9 latte. You talking about, well, we're trying to give you an experience under
It's a $9 coffee.
$9 coffee, bruh.
And he telling everybody, I worked hard to get where I came from the bottom like y'all. Like, we get it.
And see, that's the thing. We don't, in this country, we do not mind you people being rich.
We
See,
don't.
is they want you to think the reason why rich people need to have all the benefits and they need to make sure because of the job creators, also because one day you can be rich too. And it's like, yo, chances are you're not going to be a multi-millionaire. You're not going to be. You're just not. The
Well,
chance, but
yeah. What's weird is that if people consumed more, like people have more money, they'd consume more.
bro, and it's not like they're going to. Some people are going to save it, but most people are going to patronize. They're going to patronize in the economy. The economy will grow, but it's under them. They're like, well, no. You know what? Let's take all the money off the top first, give them what's left, and then also raise prices. Ha!
Like that doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't. It's so
It
stupid.
doesn't make sense to me.
If you just give them the money up front, they'll give it right back to you.
Right. If I make $5 million a year and I'm paying all my workers $30,000 a year. If I gave them $60,000 a year, I'd probably I won't have as much money, right? But they're going to pay it back. They're gonna buy more of my product.
Yes.
They're gonna spend more money here. They're gonna be at work. Productivity is always higher when people are paid, right? And it's just like that shit just doesn't make sense to me. But Black Democrats allow that shit.
Like what Sean Faye said the other day with the UAW, the United Auto Workers. They represent the top 25 companies. The top 25 that they represent in union made a combined of like $563 billion in profit over the past 10 years. Now,
It's almost $1 trillion, dog.
94% of that went to dividends and buybacks. 94% of the money they got
And that's the worst part is that that's not even real money anymore. It's just what you're worth, how much the stock is worth.
they just do it so they can raise their stock price up. They're buying stocks so people, who buying on, and it rises their stock price, and then people
That's the worst, man.
they do it all the time, bro.
And you have to make money for shareholders.
And that's your fiduciary responsibility
Is to make as much money as you can for them.
for the people who don't work at all in the company. Think about that,
Yeah.
and it's fiduciary, not the people who generate the income. Well, you can give them whatever, but the people who just give their money. Your job is to make sure you maximize their profit, and you don't have to worry about the ones that actually generate the profit. Like it's bizarro world,
And that
bro.
money's not in actual cash. It's in just shareholder value. It's
Value.
share value. Right? So it probably it's probably not worth that much, but because they buy it back, they inflate their pockets. So they're not making an extra 40 million, extra 500 billion in cash. They're making an extra 500 billion in value.
And think about that. So if that's like what 531 billion, if it's 563, so and then the other 32 billion they spread across the workers. And when you have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of workers and all these UAW,
How many people would have cars?
it's just criminal, man. It's just straight up greed. It's just criminal. And then it's not criminal because it's lawful. You say it's criminal, but really it isn't. It's lawful.
Slavery.
It's their fiduciary responsibility. Like they have to do it.
They have to.
Like if they don't, Mike, that's illegal.
That's crazy, though.
That is nuts. It's illegal if you don't make sure, Punch, your shareholders maximize and get a return. That's
the maximum return. Not that they don't get a return, that they don't get the maximum return.
Crazy. Ah!
But that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people so as a person, you have to be the responsible person to say, hey, look, if I open a company, I'm going to run that company like that. It's a lot easier to open a coffee shop in Texas than it is to do it in New York. Point blank, period. I don't care who you are. It's easier to do it than to do it in Massachusetts, California, Washington, D.C., Miami. It's easier to open a coffee shop or a tire store or any kind of business in Mississippi. Right? You're going to go through lengths to get it, but your job as that person is then to be like a good businessman, right? To grow your business. And you have the opportunity to say, I can live like a king while everybody under me is struggling, or I can live like a prince and everybody under me is doing at least a little bit better. But when people get to that position, I mean, it is the human thing to be like, I don't know about y'all, nigga.
Welcome.
Y'all know what to do with the money anyway. But that's what the politicians do when they get in the office too. Right? They have the responsibility to fight and get what we want and make it easy. And they don't. Because then they get a check from a car company or from a union or an oil company. And now it's like,
And the thing is, usually whoever raises the most money in those cars and those companies and those whatever the corporations that give them money or them donors that give them money tends to be more money than the average constituent would. The average constituent is able to give.
Yes.
So therefore, you're going to answer their call more.
100%.
So it shouldn't matter because it's like, look, to me, it's like, hey, appreciate your generosity. Oh, but I need something now. But I appreciate your generosity. This is going to help me push my message further to me to help the working class. But now that doesn't work that way. It's like if I give you this money, bro, because right now, like it's so funny, Punch. If you think about it, like how the mainstream media does it, and I really just started to think about it maybe over the last several years when they used to always say, such and such raised the most money. And usually such and such raised this. And then usually that person who raises the most money wins. And the way they manufacture consent for that, it made you not really think about that, how the media did this, because it was like, all right, yeah, they got money. And you never think about where's the money coming from? Who's paying it? Is it us? How can you generate if last election cycle, I think it was, or if it was the 2023 midterm, one of the last election cycles was like $18 billion went towards campaign ads. I think it was the 2020. I think it was the 20. I think it was the midterms. This past midterms, I believe so.
Mhm.
But it was like $18 billion or something went towards ads, and it's like at the end of the day, 18 billion. So really, these people at the end of the day, it's because of the fact they get the airtime. And why? How do they get that money to be able to pay these corporations? Because these commercials are expensive. Sometimes they got to pay what, hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars to get a commercial. So
But
the person that gives them the money, but then on top, but there's one person who's usually already rich, and all they fucking want is a tax cut.
that's it. But look, if Democrats did what people asked them to do,
This be
they would raise more money. They would even if they didn't raise more money, they'd get more people engaged. The Mondami effect, the AOC effect, all these people beat people that knew how to raise money. But even if you give me 50 million, that's not worth that's not as much as 100,000 people to come in and to vote for me. Right? Like people that are like, oh, I'm engaged and I know who he is. I thought about it. I haven't been to, like, I know we got elections coming up soon. I don't know who's in the race, right? I don't know who's in the race. I know the people I remember from the last time, or like I see their names on the billboards or the little yard signs. And if the election was tomorrow, I would just have to vote for the one I know the most, right? A lot of that comes from people, and yeah, like there's community organizations and community companies, but if you get into the people's face and then do what they ask you to do, you'd smoke anybody that even if they raised money.
See, the issue is the fact that they are greedy. They like the money that
But
they
it's about the money.
corporate.
It's not about getting shit done.
Yeah,
It's
because
about the money.
imagine if you were the party that passed universal health care,
Dog.
passed universal child care. You'll never fucking lose again.
Or made unionizing easy,
Oh,
or passed the Voting Rights Act. Or like if you passed any of this stuff, you would never lose again.
Republicans will be, it wouldn't matter how many seats they gerrymander, how many times they want to slice states into million pieces to have more, to put them all, put the black districts all through the predominantly white districts. It would not matter.
Yep.
If you do for the people and
You build homes, you're never losing again. Affordable housing, you're never losing again.
losing again. You're
And
never, ever losing again. But the fact of the matter is, that doesn't matter when it comes to these guys because these guys just take the money and what they usually do, even while they're in Congress, is since the it's only 2 years terms apiece for a congressperson.
yeah,
Most of the time, these motherfuckers are just sitting in a room calling people, asking for more money, preparing for their next election to try to stay in their seat.
yep.
Not trying to pass legislation. Not trying to figure out how their constituents can have better, better drinking water or, better affordable housing.
I don't care about that shit, bro.
Don't care about none of that.
They'll talk about it, but they don't really care about it.
They don't care about any of it. It's, let me call the people that, you gonna give me money? I'll say whatever you want me to say. I'll say whatever you want. You give me money. I'll say whatever the hell you need me to say. Give me money.
And don't get me wrong, there's politicians that are like managing well, right? Like they get certain things done. Like there's Democratic politicians that do have even not like a complete vested interest in the people, a lot like they show a lot more. Like our neighborhoods get safer, cost of like jobs get created and all that. Like so there are like black politicians that do that, don't get me wrong. But there's also a ton of them that just take the check.
That's it. Like my man, like homeboy Meeks in Maryland. What's his name? Gregory Meeks.
I don't know his name.
In Maryland, take the money. Hey, are you proud of taking AIPAC money? I'm proud of, of taking money, to help See, because once again, I'm proud. He said something about APAC and how he's proud to take APAC money or
I
some.
saw Glenn Ivy in person. In person at a town hall said, nah, ain't no way I'm not gonna take that money.
Oh, that was Ivy. That's who it was.
I saw Glenn Ivy say it in
Yeah,
person.
yeah, I think that's what I'm talking about. I think I had
Up here at Sula High School. He said they asked him, would you denounce APAC and stop taking their money? He said no. He looked at the crowd. The crowd's like, ah. He looked at the crowd and said, there ain't no way I'm not taking that money.
because if I don't take it, I can't win a re-election.
And it's like, well, they don't buy me, they just donate. And it's like, nigga, we know they buy you.
And like,
We know the car companies is buying you. We know the data center companies is buying you. We know the AI companies is buying you.
exactly, what does Israel care about the 8th district in Maryland? You know, like, what are we talking about?
Right?
Like, seriously.
And it's like you could like if you took the money and then still did like most of what the people asked, fine. You got some things done for the companies, fine. But y'all take the money, they take the money, and then don't do nothing that we ask, and do everything that the companies, that corporations ask for.
And it's getting worse and worse and worse. And that's the situation too, Bunch, because at one point in time, you know, the equality, some stuff was, you know, it's the inequality, the scale is just tipping so
Duh.
to the side of the rich, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. It's like, look, if you just would do like something like what Mondami's doing in not North Carolina, New York, with the universal paid child care. It's like, hell, you don't even gotta give people the minimum wage hike. If you just say, you know what, everybody in this country from now on does not have to worry about their kids' daycare costs anymore. Your tax dollars are going to cover it.
Dog, you know how much money that would put in people's pocket?
Come on, bruh. Come on.
If you could work from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., you didn't have to get the odd job. You didn't have to like work over like that. Like they're gonna tell us that it's racism, the reason why we don't got what we want, and that white people vote against their interest and blah blah blah. But no one's giving us what we actually want. You gave white people, poor white folks, and yeah, obviously there's racism amongst them. But if you gave all of us the same ground to start on, right? If the Democrats got in there and gave us all the same thing, they would never lose. We wouldn't be saying it's racist. They'd have to beat us.
Yeah, they would have to.
But y'all don't give us what we want and then say, you know what? It's because we can't draw the maps.
It's like, yo, bro.
What?
It's insane. Like, just how about a mainstream Democrat like Gavin Newsom or whatever, or an establishment Democrat run on universal health care?
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter what the district map looked like.
It wouldn't matter what the map looked like.
It wouldn't matter.
Yeah. Single payer healthcare. It would not matter what the district looked like.
Another person would never. Now, obviously, you'll have, you know, your right wingers trying to say, well, you know what they always do. Guys, what they're really saying is they're going to take your money and give it to black people. That's how they're going to try to spin it. And, you know, you're going to have your people that's going to vote against it regardless, because that's how they're going to feel.
Yeah.
The majority of people, if you continue to run on a platform that is populist platform, like look at Graham Plattner. Janet Mills had to pull out. Shit, I ain't doing this shit no more. I don't have a chance. And why?
Yeah.
He is saying if I get and it's not, he's only one senator. He needs more votes, but what he's saying individually is, look, when I get in there, I'm going to fight every day for universal programs for the people paid by your tax dollars.
And he got a Nazi tattoo covered up.
Oh, man.
Dog, that's what I'm saying. People would be like, yeah, okay.
All right.
Now he has to get in there and not do him like that
Fetterman.
Fetterman did. Don't Fetterman us.
Not Fedius.
Don't Fetterman us. Right? But if he gets in and he does what he says, he can be a senator for a long fucking time.
Man, like but see, at the end of the day, it's not about the people.
No, it's not. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not like up in arms about the ruling from the Supreme Court, because they're gonna tell us it's racism when it's actually y'all don't run on and give the people what they asking for anyway.
And a
It's
lot.
because y'all won't do that. It's not because of racism. Like you said, it wouldn't matter what the district looked like if you could figure out a way to get free childcare, if you could get paid parental leave, right?
You can get black people to come out there to vote, and you really care. What happens is, yes, black people will come out, but all these policies will benefit everybody.
That's exactly. It would benefit everybody.
Everybody would benefit. That's why if you just pay attention to your black constituents, pay attention to us, see what we want, because usually what we want tends to span out to what everybody's looking for. Because you know the old saying, if one of us is free, we're all free. But the fact of the matter is, bro, it's not about the people. It's about corporate interests. It's about corporations. It's about money. It's about undercover backdoor deals and dark money. Because the Citizens United back in 2010, it's all about money and money and money. That's the
It's all about money
in politics, bro.
and access and personal access. They do not give a fuck about us.
And that's
You'll
why
get a politician that do give a fuck about us, and he's gonna fight his whole life to get shit that we want.
then you get journalists, who they stop reporting anything because they want to get access, so they stop reporting the shit that they need to report and actually ask the tough questions and hold truth to power. And they just capitulate, like even now with I think it's almost CNN the deal. What Larry Ellison is getting ready to go through. I think at the end of the year we're gonna see what CNN looks like, and are they gonna capitulate to this thin skinned baby back bitch man baby of a president who's just literally the dude, man. It's just
He's a fucking idiot.
such an idiot. I mean, he's over here and then Melania I don't like that joke. It wasn't a good joke. It was like, dude, it was a joke. It was 2 days prior, and everybody trying to act like if that's the situation. That's a call to violence. I mean, man, I need to shut them.
Oh, like the 86-47.
Like, bro.
Dog. At this point, it's just goofy. Like I know a lot of people think that the what's it called was a false flag, right? Like the shooting was a false flag because now he gets to say they tried to execute him 3 times. Like it's just getting lazy, and then they lock up.
The video from Butler, what the Secret Service ran over after the shooting and grabbed the photographers and pulled them over,
Yeah.
and then that flag happened to drop down.
Exactly where it was supposed to.
Like,
Right now, it's just
what
getting
is
lazy.
going on, bro?
And I think they're building narrative, right? Like, and it's just
And
at this point, it's just lazy.
that's the thing. It's like, what is going on? It is almost if, like, even if you think about the election itself, it was odd, and a lot of but what we didn't want to do, what Democrats did not want to do, they did not want to look at Republicans like they did in 2020, even though the Republicans had no evidence of anything. Donald Trump just said he won the election. You're going to actually maybe look to Greg Pulaski had a really good breakdown of the 2024 election in terms of actual investigating, reporting, and found discrepancies. Remember, Elon Musk said it was all, Dana White said it was over. I don't know if you saw that clip. He said it's over. He's going to win. Elon, I can't remember. I don't want to misquote. But basically, either Elon or Dana White was talking, in a sense of victory already when there was no victory that was determined. But we didn't want to sound like kooks, like crazy tinfoil hats.
Yeah.
So and Butler,
the election's rigged. We can't be election deniers now.
election deniers, yo.
We can't be election deniers. There's about so far we can go. We can't be election.
We can't,
deniers.
dude. And then it was like we look like them.
Yeah, we just gotta let the story ride. We create the story, but fuck it, the nigga's the president right now.
Bro, and they got his ear shot, and then it's completely healed. But he got shot in his ear. But it's no. I mean,
he got shot in the earlobe, not the whole ear.
Could have blew, but you got shot. A bullet came to you at 80 years old.
Man, dog, it was a perfect shot.
and
that dude was the best sniper in the world, or it just went like they're gonna try telling us it's an act of God.
200 yards forward. How was it? Was it 500 yards out? How the hell did the Secret Service not see a sniper 500 yards out on the top of a roof. I mean, when Obama, because all of a sudden it's so weird, bro, that they having all these security breaches with Secret
That's
Service.
why I said it seems like they just want to tell us the narrative. He was the most attempted assassinated president. Like they had the dignity to shoot this nigga Reagan at least. Right? Even if he ain't get shot, they had at least the dignity to do that joint in public, shoot cuz in the stomach.
Like, bro, in 2015, Mark Maron had Obama on his podcast, and his podcast took place at his house in his garage. And he talked about how upsetting his neighbors were because they were on shutdown, the whole neighborhood, for days. They were like, they had to, before he got there, they had to sweep whole neighborhood, sweep his house, the next door neighbor's house, and lock down. They had to get checkpoints coming in and out. They just couldn't leave their neighborhood when they wanted. And that was days before he came. And all these breaches? How does the Secret Service allow somebody 500 yards out on a roof to aim a gun at the president?
How does he make it into the
now
White House correspondent dinner
when the president
untouched?
Yeah, he running through that. Yeah, it's how he ran through.
You know what? No, and then he got shot point blank range.
Well, that's trying to be conspiracy theory.
With a shotgun. He shot an officer point blank range.
It's weird.
Dog, that's what I'm saying. It's lazy now.
Shit is weird.
And then what they're gonna tell us, Comey was trying to send a direct order to kill the president. And it's just like
86 just means cancel. You see cancel the order, but they say no, kill the order. That means he means kill the president.
I've worked in a restaurant my whole life. 86 doesn't even mean cancel. It means we're out of it. I go 86 fries. That means we don't have fries. It doesn't mean cancel the order. It doesn't mean take it back. It doesn't mean any of that. It means there's no fries in the building. It means we're out of it. It's not a kill order. Right? It means you're out of the thing. It doesn't mean anything else in the restaurant. You get an 86 list in the kitchen. I've worked in restaurants my whole life. You get an 86 list in the kitchen, and it says all the things that's not in the refrigerator.
It's crazy, bro.
It's not a kill order.
It is from that with the 8647, and then they're trying to act as if, because what Jimmy Kimmel said, and then a couple days later, before this happened, this occurred, and try to use it as some type of some call to violence because see what happened, and then a couple days later, I was assassinated. Like, these people are clowns.
They're clowns.
Clowns, bro. Yeah. They're just complete and total clowns.
And then the whole GOP then talks about how we need a ballroom for $240 million.
It was like in unison.
Unison.
Oh, that's why we need a ballroom. Even though the White House Correspondents' Dinner is not an event put on by the White House.
Yeah, it's not at the White House.
By the media.
And they have more people in that room than the ballroom's supposed to hold.
Yes, and the president is always usually the special guest. He's the guest of honor for the night.
If he even goes. He's the first president to go in years.
That was his first time he ever went since 2015. He stopped going because, and that's why and this year also they didn't have a comedian. He didn't want one because he's so thin-skinned. Like, this man is legitimately trying to take away rights and trying to get Jimmy Kimmel lit up when Brandon Carr goes out here, and 2 years earlier now they're doing a review of ABC's broadcasting license 2 years earlier, and Brandon Carr's like, well, no, it's just because of the fact we decided to go forth and see what the ABC. Come on, man. All of y'all scared of that petulant man because y'all afraid of what's gonna happen if y'all say something crooked to him. He'll come back at you. Like, look at in Germany when the chancellor came out and said, he's being humiliated, and then they pull out troops from Germany. He's such a child. He is a child, bro. Never seen anything like it in my life. He is a child. He is a moron who legitimately spins alternate realities and has tens of millions of people also spinning those alternate realities. Like, they go from the Iran war saying, oh, no, we have to make sure. It used to be, no, we have to make sure that Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon. But you said you obliterated last year. And no, well, our blockade is blocking them, so it's working. How is it working when gas is still fucking $4.50?
When they're still blocking people from coming out.
This stuff is crazy.
If the military was that big and bad, why don't y'all go open it up and let the shit run?
Right? Because at one point in time, the Strait of Hormuz was open before all this shit even happened.
There was no mines in the water.
Nothing.
Right? Them motherfuckers wasn't talking about paying tolls. Right? The motherfuckers they was chilling. Like, you could go in there that joint and go out. And now the blockade is blocking. And it's like, our president's a fucking idiot, man.
It's like
that's all you can say.
Well, you don't want to blame, gas prices. You guys were all
gas $4.49. I'm blaming somebody, right. Bro.
Joe Biden was president. You guys act like Joe Biden wasn't at fault. He wasn't. There was a COVID pandemic,
and Russia went to war.
And Russia invaded Ukraine.
We didn't invade Ukraine, and our gas prices went up.
A fucking school of schoolgirls. That's what we did, and we started the war.
Yeah.
Therefore, they closed the strait. And when they closed the strait, which is 20% of the world's oil goes through there, and who cares that the United States doesn't use the strait to get oil personally? Oil is traded on the global market.
Yeah, which means is if other people are selling it at a high price,
yes,
our people are going to sell it at the high price.
Exactly. Ding, 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 ding.
They're not going to give it to us $60 a gallon. A barrel, because that's what it's really worth. If other people have to sell it at $105 a barrel, they're also going to sell it at $105 a barrel.
I think now it got to like $126 a barrel crude oil.
Dog. Gas is $4.49 right now.
Oh, last night, I have an SUV, bro. Usually it costs me about $50 to fill it up, bro. I put 25 in that bitch today. It wasn't even a quarter of a tank almost.
I got a Nissan Rogue, and when it's below 280, it's like $29. Right now, I just put $10 in it at a time. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Yo, look.
I ain't filling my gas tank like a month. I'm just putting the gas that I need in that motherfucker. I'm getting like 3 gallons of gas at a time. Hey, bro, I ain't even gonna lie. I get like $3 of gas at a time. 3 gallons of gas at a time, bro. I can't even fuck with it. I don't know how much it costs to fill my tank up, because I ain't done filled my tank up yet.
I ain't filled my shit up yet with this new joint either. I ain't done it.
I ain't got it, bro. I'm asking niggas for gas money again.
I got something on y'all, man.
Yeah, I need like $7, bro.
Crazy, man.
I'm not doing it.
And then he goes around and tells people everything's great. We're winning the war. No, you're not.
The military is obliterated. Spirit's airline, the airline I predominantly flew because it went everywhere and the prices was good and the seats, although bad, were decent enough for a 4.5-hour flight. Shut down.
Gone.
They gone.
And they were already teetering, but what hurt them was when the oil prices went up.
Yeah, what made them shut down? They were already losing money.
It hurt.
But what them motherfuckers said, hey, man, we can't even do it no more.
It's oil, this gas killing us.
Just overnight.
We can't fill
Canceled all the flights.
Up, bro.
Yeah, they probably could have lasted a couple of months. Canceled the flights overnight.
Crazy, bro.
They said, "Oh no, we just not. No one's opening tomorrow."
Listen, bro, and they were paying this oil. The oil, everything rid up.
And farms is closing. Farms is shutting down.
And then farms is shutting down. And then you tell yourself that the other day they had something on CNN. His what's his name? John King was out in farm country, and people just still, that's why I think there is racism.
Oh yeah, they gonna get what they get, man. Fuck it.
It's like because it's like cultural supremacy with some of these motherfuckers. It's like they just think, because they think, well, if we do anything that's equality wise, they just gonna take it from us and give it to the black people, or give it to the brown people, whatever the case. Yeah. We're just nowhere near the case. And then they go out there and then they vote against their best interests, And then they screw themselves. And then for the campaign, or I'm sorry, for the administration to come out and say the other day, well, the administration is doing great the economy. We've gotten 4 million people off food stamps. No. You kicked 4 million people off fucking.
Y'all raised healthcare, dumbasses.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you did. Now, it's not touting you, well, we got 4 million people and we pulled them out. No, you didn't. And see, it's all about optics with this administration, bro. Because the same thing. Even when I worked, when I was working in the government at the time, dude, they said, well, we're going to cut down the government spending. We're going to fire employees. You don't need them. Trim the fat. Get them down. Knock down the workforce. Yeah, he knocked it down. But what he did is he sent everybody home and paid them. That's all he did. He sent everybody home.
Cost them more money to just pay everybody out. And they stopped doing their job.
It's just at the end of the day, it wasn't about getting nothing done. It's just the optics of it. What does it look like so I can sell it and propagandize it to the American people? And that's all this administration is about. And that's why you see stuff that happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It's like, yo, the lack of trust is so deep. It's like, even if Donald Trump, if this was an actual assassination attempt, people are like, nah, man, it's bullshit. Even MAGA is like, yo, man, it's bullshit, bro. What the hell?
If they're not, they're tripping. If they're not, the racism is showing, man.
And that's the thing. Like, at one point in time, yeah, racism is a big component, but a lot of times, too, the Democratic Party, when they get power, they
don't do nothing.
That's when they get power, they wield that shit. It's cruel. It's cruel and unusual.
Yeah.
But they wield it. Because at the end of the day, they're only working. Republicans work for exclusively special interests and corporations. That's it.
Exclusively.
Democrats speak to the rhetoric of, no, we care about you. But Republicans, literally, that's why Republicans have successfully and effectively trained their base not to expect shit, but owning the libs. However that looks.
Yep.
And that matters. To the point that they can sit here and just lie and run their damn mouth and lie about the stupidest of stuff that don't make no damn sense. Like, when you see shit like this, this is like see this right here, right? This is crazy. Like, this is what they do. And then they tell you everything's great and everything's wonderful.
You got a clip?
And I got a clip for you. I got a clip for you. Here is Joe Kernan. Now, Joe Kernan from CNBC. When you lose Joe Kernan, you're struggling right now. And this is Steve Scalise, the gentleman that was shot a couple years ago back, at the baseball game, and
finish the job next time. No, fuck off.
He is the minority. He's the majority leader of the House.
Okay.
He was talking about.
He was the minority whip at the last time, right?
He's the majority leader of the House because of the Republican and majority. And this is what he was on CNBC the other day talking about the economy. Check this out.
To the GOP's chances for holding the House. I mean, even the Senate is somewhat questionable. I don't know if you put any stock in that, but there were some developments this week.
No, I don't.
Seems like negative developments in Virginia, I think, for Democrats, positive developments for Republicans in Texas, something happening in Florida now. What is do you think there's any way that your party holds on in November to the House?
Absolutely. And look, it's a path that is focused on turnout, number one, and delivery. What we've delivered to finally start turning this mess around that we inherited a year and a half ago. People that will remember, you go back 2 years ago, we were paying almost $6 a gallon for gasoline. Right now it's in the threes. Obviously, we've seen a jump with the Iran conflict.
When were we?
It's still
50. What is that?
2.5 years ago.
I don't think
if you look at
that wasn't the average
where
price.
we are now, we're over 30% below where we were just 2 years ago. Today, we are 30% below where we were 2 years ago. It's still going to go lower when Iran gets resolved and the Strait of Hormuz gets open. But at the same time, did anybody want a nuclear-armed Iran? I think if you ask most normal people, they would say absolutely not when they just slaughtered 30,000 of their own people. They were about to get a nuclear weapon. And President Trump stopped that. But that's going to get resolved. President Trump's negotiating that right now. He's negotiated a number of peace deals. They're trying to get a resolution between Russia and Ukraine right now, too. So if you look all across the board, we are lowering inflation. Interest rates have started to come down. They're not where we want to be, by the way. We have a lot of work to do. But do you want to go back to the days where interest rates were in double digits, where inflation was 50% higher than it was today? So we're bringing things down so that we can make life more affordable, but we have more work to do. And that's why we're going to hold the majority.
You must have been on vacation in California. I think 2 years ago in April of 2024, we were at about 365. So we're actually above where we were then. And I'm not.
No, we were well into the fives under Biden. Well,
I ain't never paid $5 for gas.
We
most
were at
of energy
365.
production shut down. Energy in the Gulf of America was shut down. Alaska was shut down. We opened that up, by the way, in the working families tax.
2 years ago, the average was
production now.
Exactly 2 years ago, the average was 365 to 367. And I'm not saying that $4 or whatever it is now, that the long-term goals that we're trying to accomplish in the Middle East, I'm not saying it's not worth it for a brief time, but it's definitely going to hurt people, obviously, this summer. If you're paying a lot. Andrew was telling me you're going to stay home at this point, right?
Well, I do think you're going to see a resolution to that.
Just lying. Just all the way through it. First of all, gas was $6.
I ain't never paid no $6 for no gas.
The working families tax cut. See, that's their new name for the big bullshit bill. You know that they rebranded it. The working families tax cut bill? When the majority of the tax cuts went to the rich, he said he's negotiated several peace deals. Inflation is lower. Inflation is higher than it was now when Biden left office. He said it was 50% less.
He also said that most Americans would say they didn't want a nuclear Iran. I don't think most Americans know what Iran is.
They don't give a fuck when gas.
They don't give a fuck about no goddamn Iran.
Gas is $4.50. They don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, they want to tell you that we did this to protect you.
Gas was $2.86. They didn't give a fuck about Iran.
And the Gulf of America, he said, could have said this, the executive order when Trump changed the name. It's just like these people legitimately live in an alternate reality. No, what they're doing is they're trying to rig the maps, trying to figure out a way they can win. And then they say, see, because of the working families tax cuts. And it's like, yo, it's an alternate reality. And then you got people, they'll sit there and defend it. And you're like, what has he done? Like, I'm loving Isaiah Martin that's coming on Abby now because he kind of talks more personalized. Like, what has he done? Like, what has he done for you? And Pete Seat was next to him yesterday talking about, I don't really like, we shouldn't personalize it. We shouldn't personalize no kind of stuff. You kind of, what? Then he said, but didn't you vote for him? And then this is what Pete Seat said. I don't know if you saw it last night. He says,
I didn't see it last night.
I didn't vote for Trump. He said, what? He said, I didn't vote for Trump. Well, I didn't vote for Trump at all. Breaking news. And everybody was like, what? Then I'm like thinking to myself, the next thing I would have said, because Isaiah Martin just said, well, you got me. I would have said, oh, so now you're proving even more of a hat that you are. Because not only you didn't vote for the man at all, because you knew his policies were bad, but the minute he gets in, now you're sucking his cock.
What's he doing? That's hilarious, man.
So I didn't vote for him, but you're defending everything he's doing. But you didn't vote because you knew he was a disaster. You knew it. So you're just proving how much of a hack you really are?
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Crazy.
After all that, the Republicans have done less.
They still ain't shit.
They still ain't done as much as
After all of that,
they ain't done as much as the ain't shit Democrats. I do wonder though, in the South, how everybody has like this romantic view of Black enterprise prior to segregation. I mean, prior to integration. And I wonder if there's a possibility to get any of that back with all the things that are happening in the South.
Say the first part again.
I said, I think people have this like romantic view of how Black enterprise was. Like we had all our own stuff, right?
What happened when we had our own stuff?
Huh?
What happened when we had our own
Wait,
stuff?
wait. Well, now you can't just bomb a fucking city. Back then you could. You know what I'm saying? Back then you could take 300 white guys and go kill a whole city of Black people.
Oh, but
Now you can't do that.
did you see the Wilmington, North Carolina coup when they did in Wilmington, North Carolina? When they went,
Oh, when they went and took that dude, the dude that had the little printing press,
yes,
they ran him out of there. They told him, they made him get on the train. If you come back tonight, we will. They were at his print shop.
100 Black burned the whole city down.
Burnt the whole city down. It was one of the wealthiest Black cities in, and now Wilmington is like mostly white. But then,
Made himself mayor and took over with a white mob.
yeah,
You go from there to Lake Lanier,
Yeah.
Rosewood,
yeah,
Black Wall Street in Tulsa.
yeah. Chicago, Harlem,
Now, what would happen this time, like you said,
DC.
can't just bomb no more, but what they would do is they'd do something like fuck up the water, some bullshit. They
Yeah,
figure-
but like that's what I'm saying. Is it a way to get around that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like now we have tools that our ancestors didn't have, and look what they made work with the stuff they didn't have.
That's a good point too.
Right? We have tools that our ancestors. You could win an election on social media. They didn't have social media. You went around registering youngins to vote. They'd shoot you. You brought a bunch of Black people to the courthouse to vote. They'd shoot you.
Dead in the street.
Yeah, like they hit you with a fire hose. That fire hose would be ripping skin off. Now we can.
Well,
I don't know. We have tools that they didn't have. So the excuse that it's just racism in politics, like it got to be something better than that.
I mean, cause yeah, that is a element, but at the same time, it's like you said, Democrats just don't do shit.
Yeah, Black Democrats just don't do shit.
They don't, Black Democrats don't do anything for their base.
Yeah.
And then like Cory Booker, they'll just say, "Oh, give me the Michigan fist. I need the Michigan fist." I don't know if you saw that.
No.
And you guys,
I don't watch Cory Booker at all. I see him and I turn the channel.
90% of what she does, but the other 90% you do agree with because this 10% gets you all effed up. But the fact of the matter is, now you got somebody in office who you don't agree with at all. And it's like, bro, it had nothing to do with agreeing with, it has nothing to do with us not agreeing with them or not. That doesn't even matter. It's when you guys have power, y'all don't do it because obviously we don't agree with Republicans.
Yeah.
When y'all get in, y'all don't do shit. So people become disillusioned. They become stopped, and
they don't want to show up to the ballot box.
They stay home.
They stay home.
These areas that are so poorly ran.
And that's not racism.
No.
That's y'all not doing what you all's constituents asked for.
Going to do on NFL.
You can't even pull other people to our side because you also, at least the Republicans are going to win the culture war. They're going to fight abortion and make sure men don't play in women's sports. Right?
And make sure and act like that shit is the biggest existential threat.
Y'all going to lose that and then still not do anything.
No, bro.
Y'all ain't even going to win any part of the battle. Y'all ain't going to do nothing for us economically. And then you going to lose the culture war?
This is crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, that's not racism. I'm blaming the Democrats. Do what the people ask you to do. You won't have to worry about a goddamn map.
I'm blaming. Well, I'm blaming the Democrats. That's a good title. We blaming the Democrats.
Yeah, man.
They have a lot of culpability.
They have a lot. They can't tell me it's racism no more.
Hakeem Jeffries, Hakeem Jeffries, as corporate of a hack as he is, begging Silicon Valley for money after the election, they think they're gonna get rid of us? what do you think you're going to do? You think that you will get rid of us? You think because you stopped his hair?
He talks like he's reading the teleprompter, but he can't read.
That thing is just odd. And it's like, dude, you haven't done anything for your constituents. You do nothing.
Nothing.
Your ass all day long and just take AIPAC money.
You do nothing.
Yes, we won't say both parties are the same in terms of rhetoric. Yeah, one party is a authoritarian, deaf, cult, racist, fascist party. Yes.
Another party's just watching them.
But how do they win? How do they get an opportunity to even get close to power? When people like you don't do shit when you are in the majority.
Yep. And then tell us, nah, it's racism, bro.
And they said, no, it's
racism. The Supreme Court said they can have racism. It's like, dog, I'm not trying to hear that. You wasn't doing anything for me anyway. It wouldn't have been so easy to roll back those rights if my Democratic Party did what I was asking them to do. If they enshrined it in law.
They had majority.
They had it. They had it under Obama. They had it under Biden.
They could have codified
abortion. They could have just passed all the laws, but no.
Why, John Lewis, they said, no, there's nothing that we can do. The John Lewis Voting Rights Act. Because at the end of the day,
they should have pushed Merrick Garland in the goddamn Supreme Court. We out here making deals. Every time the Republican says, nah, we'll in good faith, just fuck with me. Then we do what they ask them to do, and then they be like, nah. I mean, y'all did it, but that don't mean we gonna do it too. And it's like, man, if y'all don't, they don't put 3 Supreme Court justices in and told you couldn't put one in during before the election. They put 2 in that jump.
Yeah, they say, oh no, it's what do you say? He's a sitting duck, lame duck year. You know.
Yeah, it's not what the people want, dog. They showed them videos of all them Republicans saying that shit. We won't vote on a Supreme Court when we have a lame duck president and the election's coming up.
And then what happens? Ruth Ginsburg dies a couple months before the election, and Mitch McConnell rams her ass.
Rams her the two whole Supreme Court justices, and they played it, and it was like, well, that's too bad for y'all. Y'all shouldn't have listened to us. We got to do what we got to do, and it's like, come on, man. That's the Democrats' fault.
Yeah, and then once again, Merrick Garland, when he comes to Attorney General,
he don't want to look partisan.
He does shit. Don't want to look like a partisan hack.
He want to follow the rules.
Don't follow the rules. We're not going to go after Trump. You should have charged his ass a week after you became Attorney General. But then what you do is, once he announces that he's running for president, then you have Jack Smith in the special counsel, and now the shit looks political. It looks like lawfare.
It was going to look like lawfare anyway, but y'all could have got that shit done a lot earlier.
Anyways, you could have got it done if you did it initially. If you did it in January of 2021, before the end of that month, the minute Merrick Garland got to office was confirmed, the next charges against Trump.
He should have been launching investigations.
Thank you. But you do it 2 years later.
Yeah.
Comes and says, you know what, I'm running again. And then you come out here, because really the issue was punch. And we're about to wrap it up. Because really what they don't want to do is, they don't want to set precedent in actually holding the powerful accountable. They did not want to hold President Trump accountable, because they don't want to start that.
They don't want them to get held accountable when they do fuck shit. And that's what I'm saying. We blame the fucking Democrats. I'm not worried about racism.
Come on, man. And then they didn't want to. Then they want to hold him accountable once he decided that he was going to run for president and he was going back into the limelight. Then they want to bring his ass out and say, okay, I have appointed Jack Smith as a special counsel. 2 years later?
When you on the deadline to see if he becomes the nominee or not. He become the nominee, now you just can't fuck with him. You gave him the leeway. We blame the Democrats, man.
We blame the Democrats.
We blame the Democrats, dog. Like, I'm not listening to it's racist and they're gonna vote. Y'all weren't doing what black people asked us to y'all to do anyway.
It don't mean we don't understand that. We understand.
No, we're black people.
We're black.
We're black. We know what's happening, but I'm not listening to the racist argument again. Obviously, racism is going to be used But if y'all was doing what we asked y'all to do, it wouldn't fucking matter.
Wouldn't matter.
You'd get a lot of fucking white people on your side.
You'll have a FDR, Democratic majority.
Dog.
80% of Congress is ran House and Senate. Democrats is running it.
How many Latinos would you get? How many Native Americans, Asians, Indians, all these motherfuckers you would get if you just did what the people was asking? If you did the popular thing. Matter of fact, just go get all 80-20 issues and say that's what I'm fighting for.
That's it.
That's it. Just you don't even got to come up with nothing special or anything like genius. Say, I'm just going to get all the 80-20 issues, get money out of politics, all the things that are 75-25, 80-20, and then give us that.
They can't. They won't do that neither. Because first of all, they got to say what? First of all, before they say, well, no, hold on. Yeah, y'all got the check?
Yeah. What's that check look like?
What the check look like? Oh, we won't worry about them then. Okay, cool.
I wouldn't even be mad if you took the check, right? If you still did what we asked you for. If you said, hey, look, I'm going to give y'all half of the 80-20 issues, and then I'm going to like kind of fuck with them a little bit, I'd be like, that's a lot more than the 1 or 2 we get every 20 years.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even care if I don't even care if you got fucking rich in Congress. If you
I don't care.
the people. I wouldn't even give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
Whatever.
You can do all the insider trading you want to do. I would not give a
Relevant.
fuck.
You can ask somebody can tell you in their ear, and then you can go out there and just trade
Yeah.
it.
Go to that dinner. They pay $100,000 a plate. Get the money, bro.
Bro,
Give us like 4 of the 8 that we asking for.
give us universal health care, universal child care, and a minimum wage hike, and go out there and inside trade all you fucking want.
All you want. All you want.
Just until your heart does you happy.
Yeah, to you like Nancy Pelosi. Sitting on $80 million.
But not only y'all want to be corrupt, don't do nothing. Then on top of that, y'all don't want to do shit for your constituents.
Y'all don't want to do nothing for us. We blaming the Democrats, bro.
Keep blaming the Democrats, man. Because I was big, racism to me was a reason. I'm in my head, I'm like, yeah. But when you brought me over, really, because in a lot of ways thinking about it, yeah, racism is an element, but also it's because of the lack of the ineptness of the Democrat Party power and not doing the things that they needed to do, what they said they were going to do, and all they did was what? Virtue signal.
That's it.
Virtue signal.
They got in a culture war and they lost it. Like, man, I don't give a fuck about that.
When Joe Biden allows
and those things are important.
And Christian Cinema and Joe Manchin to stop his progress. Are you kidding me? You think would allow 2 Republican senators to stop an agenda?
A West Virginian Republican and Kirsten, where was she like? Alaska or some shit like that?
Arizona. But Manchin was I guess they say a conservative Democrat, but Manchin was just a fucking corrupt piece of shit. That's what he was. And that's what Kirsten Cinema was, because when they both left Congress, now they both got cushy jobs, lobbyists somewhere. And Joe Manchin was already living on his fucking yacht. Anyway, he was in Congress. He got, but he left because he knew he was getting ready to lose his race anyway. When the governor, Jim Justice, who used to be the governor of West Virginia, ran and took his seat.
Republican.
When they got his bulldog all the time with him, I think his name Jim Justice, something Justice.
He a Republican?
Oh yeah, West Virginia.
Yeah.
A Democrat Republican, a Democrat governor in West Virginia sounds crazy.
That man could have figured out a way to give us universal health care and keep them coal jobs. If you wanted to keep the coal jobs, fuck it, man.
But see, then you say, what's the biggest purpose? If you know we the richest country in the world, and you can still get rich and be rich and still give equity to your constituents where they can
live.
The question is, why are you not willing to do that?
Because you can make a little bit of money being bad. A little bit more money. Not even a whole lot more money. Just a little bit more. What's the difference between 80 million and 50 million when you got one or the other?
Much or nothing.
Not much.
Buy with 50 million, you can. What can you buy with 80 million?
Yeah. What can you buy with 80? What are you buying with 80 million you can't buy with 50?
Nothing.
So it's like,
not a damn thing.
But to have it feels better.
Yeah, see, that's all.
For sure. To have it feels better for sure.
And to be better than other people, and then what? Dominate other people. Like it's all fucked up, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? We blame the Democrats. Thanks a lot, centrist.
Yeah, we blame the Democrats.
All right. We done, y'all. So much to talk about all the time, week to week. So much shit. Just stay encouraged, y'all, though. I mean, some stuff, I got people that I know you're overwhelmed. And that's kind of the strategy, too.
Yeah, turn the news off, man. Go touch some grass.
Run the zone. Yeah, go touch the grass.
Go touch some grass.
Let people like me and Punch talk about this shit and inform you guys about it. Because it's important. It really is. But, you know, even me, myself, I take my time to decompress. You know, I have my ways. Yeah.
Oh, I get it, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sometimes you just gotta take a break.
Out to my man DJ. Yeah, I don't know you know DJ CC on YouTube. He has a
I
channel.
don't know.
But his cousin Flash takes good care of him. He's a funny. It's a hilarious, good dude. He's hilarious. Yeah, he does his thing when you like when you get he's like, and it's
What's his name?
DJ CC. He's on YouTube. He's a kid that has Down syndrome, but his brother, his uncle, not his uncle, his nephew.
Oh, with DJ. He be like, he be looking for what's cousin's name?
Him and Fleet be going at it all the time. Fleetwood.
Yeah, yeah. I know that dude. I know him. That's my man.
That's my guy. I
He
love
be dancing and shit sometimes. He
it.
be acting like he be drinking liquor. You want to hit that? You want to hit that? That's my nigga. That nigga funny as hell.
The best, yo. Absolutely the best, man. Shout out to Flash. Shout out to Fleetwood, man. Good dudes, man. Good dudes. All right, man. We appreciate you guys listening, man. Y'all know what we try to do here on the podcast at Correctly Mistaken. We try to get people back to critical thinking and caring for the other. To understand that one day you will be that other. Because, man, we definitely need somebody caring for some people. Because it's damn sure ain't our politicians.
It ain't.
So alongside my guy, Punch, boy Osei, man. This is Correctly Mistaken podcast. Y'all have a good week. Y'all be blessed. Peace.